October 18th, 7:35 p.m., and you're joining us on the Horizon 24, guys. And so this is going to be an extra long stream because I have literally the entire Friday evening. Basically, I get really tired and fall asleep, which could be sooner than I think. You know, it's just the way it is. Getting up 4:45 in the morning, you do get kind of tired after over 12 hours, you know, about 15, 16 hours awake. But let's see if we can kick this one off, this episode. I'll see how much we can get done on this episode. I kind of want to get a lot more done on this episode than I have been in the past 3 or 4. So we got a lot of quests to pick up. We've got hunts to complete. And not only that, it's been a while since I've upgraded my gear. It's probably been about 10 or so episodes since I upgraded the bow, and it's starting to show now. I noticed that the creatures take more damage, or they're harder to kill, takes more hits to kill. I've got a lot more modifications now. I've also got the ability that allows me to remove modifications from older equipment. That way, if there's anything really good that I have in a crafted slot, I can keep it for later. You know, maybe it doesn't fit a certain, like for example, if it's a handling rune, it might not fit really on the high damage bow, but it may do better on the rope caster or the composite short bow, that kind of thing. The other thing is I need to consider a new armor because I noticed that I'm taking massive damage now, and I haven't purchased armor in probably about 10 or 11 episodes as well. I've got about maybe 2,400 metal shards, so that's probably going to limit. If I buy higher quality equipment, I'm probably going to be limited to just 2 or 3 items right now. So I've really got to be careful what's going to be my best bet, my best move with the shards that I have.
My mind's full of all the things I have to do, which means
and we've got a lot of supply crates around this town here. Yeah, excuse me, at 2654, more than I thought I had. And this is Meridian, so this is like the big hub town of this world. And in the lore of this game, this is the capital of the Carja tribe. And they are clearly the more advanced city-state tribe in this game. Just by looking at their cities, their towns, their armor, their weaponry. And the Nora is rather primitive by comparison. So we have a specialty merchant here.
All right. What did you want to discuss?
You're an outlander, which is good. But a Nora, which might be bad. Do you fear the ruins of the old ones like many in your tribe?
No, although some can be dangerous.
Then you may have come across what I seek. In your travels, have you found strange vessels, emblazoned with symbols of the old ones? They consist of a hollow cylinder with a crescent handle affixed at both ends. If you bring me these vessels in sets of 4, I will gladly trade what I have for them.
So you're interested in the old ones?
More than interested. I study every ancient artifact I can get my hands on. But years of study have made me too comfortable. Can't even bear the sun, if the truth be known. I don't know how I'll manage to take a partner. My family presses me for an heir.
Don't look at me.
Oh, no, I'm not looking. In fact, my father already has someone he wants me to wed. She doesn't interest me. I wish I had a brother to carry this burden. I would rather be left to my precious little vessels.
What sort of ritual were these vessels made for?
I'm convinced they were used in conjunction with each other in sets. Some people believe they were used for tea ceremonies. Others think they held sacred essences and oils for worship. But I believe they were used for the solemn custom of shaving one's beard. One for water, one for lotion, and so on. Each fluid in its special vessel, majestically applied to the face at each stage of the rite. It must have been breathtaking. But which vessel was used for which? I have to know. I have to continue my research.
Electric
Are
shavers.
you sure people didn't just drink out of them?
Drink? Out of such finely crafted earthenware? Don't be ridiculous. Yes, trade quickly. I have work to do.
I'm not even sure. Oh, I do have these things. But I don't have... Yeah, I'm missing some. Okay. I don't think I need these maps. I've already purchased them.
I will leave you to the hunt. Be sure to delve into the ruins. Ah. You're everything I'm not. Strong, brave, active. Come, talk a spell. We all have our place in the order.
Here we go. I think it's really worth buying this Carja Ropecaster right now. The Rattler, Blastling. Honestly, I think I should save it for a piece of gear. So that gives me fire protection. This gives me shock protection. This just gives me extra 2 slots. Yeah, this is super expensive. Now. You know, I'm wondering now whether I even really need to buy much of anything. I probably just need to use what I have.
Yeah. Yes, I'm happy.
Okay, he doesn't have a treasure box.
May you enjoy your... Perhaps your travels have taken you through ancient ruins? Let us speak.
You there! Can you help me?
I sure can,
Nora,
brother.
Please, I need... You're the one the Vanguard has been crowing about. The Nora who tracks criminals and traitors with her second sight. If only you'd use it to help me. A thief raided my home and took my brother's sword.
Tell me about the robbery. Don't leave anything out.
It was brazen and professional. They took only the sword, my most valuable possession. The thief went out through the window and scared the shadow off my steward. Otherwise, it would have been a clean getaway.
Why would someone steal the sword?
It's priceless. Made from the burnished antler of a lancehorn, finely inlaid with studded stones all down the...
Okay, I get it.
Forgive me. The 12th Sun King gave it to my brother for his military service. He was killed in battle during the liberation. I was saving it for my nephew who's stranded at Sunfall with the Carja in Shadow.
How did your nephew wind up in Sunfall?
Most of the old clergy backed the Mad Sun King, so when he fell, They ran out of fear of retribution. As an honor guard to a venerable priest, my nephew had no choice but to go with them. Now that my brother is gone, my nephew is my heir, so that sword really belongs to him. And after all he's been through, I won't be able to look him in the face if I don't get it back.
I'll see what I can do about the robbery.
Have a word with my steward if you need to. He saw the thief escape. And listen, all I want is the sword back. Meridian, and my family for that matter, has seen enough strife already. If I can get it back, all is forgiven. No retribution necessary.
Soldiers await orders just inside.
Robbing the rich.
Better here than on the battlefield.
Talk to the steward optional.
You saw the thief make a run for it?
My back was to the wall, you see. Wasn't expecting someone to crawl out the window. He ran past me, dressed in gray, clutching the sword. That's all I saw. By the sun, my heart nearly seized up.
Drops of blood leading the way. More blood. I'm still on the trail.
You're an outlander. Nora from the look of you. I'll bet you're a machine hunter, too.
I've hunted my share.
Well, let me give you a word of advice. Don't bother with the Hunter's Lodge. If you're not Carja, you'll never rise in the ranks.
What's wrong with the hunting lodge exactly?
Nothing, if you like stuck-up bigots. I'm known as a skilled hunter back home in Banur, so I thought I'd try my
Ooh,
luck
this
at the
guy's
lodge.
dropping a nook.
I thought it'd be simple. Hunt machines, gain ranks, see who's best. But it doesn't work like that at all. It's all rigged to keep the Carja at the head of the line. I don't need those snobs to tell me I can hunt. I'm going home.
Are you saying that you have to be Carja to join the lodge?
Pretty much.
No,
he's saying.
they take other tribes. But they have rules in place to keep outlanders from gaining ranks. When Sun King Avad took over, he promised a new day, Meridian open to all. But it's a sham. Sure, you can get a seat at the feast, but you just can't eat the food.
Sounds like someone needs to shank things up at the lodge.
Maybe, but it isn't gonna be me. If you decide to go, be sure to give them a good old-fashioned Banuk farewell mark in my honor.
A Banuk farewell mark. What's that?
Piss on the floor. Preferably someplace they won't find it until it gets nice and sour.
Gross. Piss on the floor.
It's always the ones you least expect that cause you trouble.
Oseram are hardly better than Nora. They live among piles of scrap from the old one. members of this machine named Redmoor. Is it real? Has anyone survived an encounter? I have a matter of grace and beauty I would like to discuss with you.
Don't ask me where to go if you're lost. I'm a guard, not the town crier.
What is this?
Forget about. Traveling light.
Let's have a chat. No, a colorful discussion.
What do you want to talk about, me?
What did you want to talk about?
You were an outlander, no? An adventurer. I used to be one myself. I admit, I miss the beguiling colors of the wilds. Speaking of which, I wonder if you've come across a very special kind of flower.
I sure have, man.
It's made of metal, like a machine.
Metal
Other
flower.
blossoms grow around them in amazing patterns. These gleaming beauties are very much in demand among my clients. If you bring me some, I have valuables to trade for them.
These metal flowers. What are they exactly?
I doubt they really know.
No one knows. But some say they began sprouting 20 years ago when the machine started to go mad. Perhaps, for he has many faces, does he not? Wrathful one day, cool and patient the next. Perhaps he weeps for our suffering when his anger breaks.
You said you were an adventurer.
Just so. The nobles of Meridian crave flowers for their balconies and gardens. So out I went, with bow and spear. I made my name by searching the wilds for the wildest blossoms. No bandit nor machine could keep me from those precious petals.
So what happened?
Love happened, my sweet. My paramour frets too much when I venture out. So now I collect flowers for those without such bonds.
Is it worth it? Being restrained like that?
Of course. Freedom is sweet, but the embrace of my beautiful Theradine sweeter still. Ah, let us haggle over this beautiful bounty.
I don't have quite enough. That's all right.
Till we meet again, my noble Nora. Everyone needs a splash of color in their life. Come, let's talk it over.
Stonemore's lot. The thief got cut pretty bad. The trail ends here. But someone must have seen the thief.
I'm more tired than usual. Should have eaten more breakfast.
Did someone run past here, holding a sword?
Sure did. He grabbed some linen off the stand here and took off down the stairs behind you. He was bleeding, so maybe he needed a binding. Blast it! That was expensive cloth. I can't believe I paid for that thief's bandage.
A few more hours, then I can get a drink. For free. Good sharks. But I'm all thumbs.
We don't see many Nora around here. Not since the raids, anyway.
I'd like to discuss a trade with you, Outlander.
Dirty baskets. I'm not even sure what that's
Back
about.
from the wilds. Find any Banuk relics?
Nah, I'm good.
Come on back if you find any Banuk goods. Excuse me, Outlander? I'm looking for Banuk artifacts.
Excuse me.
You need to win 3 half-suns at our hunting grounds to gain admittance to the lodge.
You mean these?
Very well, then. Congratulations, and welcome. Our members reap rewards and adventure and live on in legend.
Am I a member now?
No, you're only a fledgling. Junior members are called thrushes. To join and become a thrush, you need a senior member called a hawk to sponsor you.
So I need to find a hawk.
Yes, but a hawk can only sponsor 1 hunter at a time, and I'm afraid most of them already have one.
I've overcome worse odds. Where do I start?
Upstairs, present yourself to the Sunhawk Assis, our leader, who should introduce you to a hawk. I hope it's worth it.
What do you mean?
You'll see. If you insist on staying, you'll want to introduce yourself to Assis upstairs. Go on.
Oh, I got a nice band here.
You're in for a treat. It's quite a show.
The bylaws of the lodge. Bylaws of the Hunter's Lodge. Section 1 Preamble. The hunt is the noblest pursuit in the Sundom, save those of the Sun King and his Sun Priest. The hunt is strength. The hunt is honor. The hunt protects. The hunt preserves. What is the hunt but competition? What is competition without rank, honor, and victor? The lodge lends law and lore to the hunt, so all will know who has prevailed. Thus the lodge is not just its members and not just its house of Meridian, it's the spirit of the hunt, a code to be honored, an ideal to be lived. Only those of the noblest blood can embody the noblest ideals. As such, only Carja males of pure blood may honor the lodge and tread in its house. By order of His Radiance Avad, 14th Sun King of the Carja, Bylaw 5 of Section 1 is hereby rescinded. Section number 2, Membership. No hunter shall gain admittance to the lodge without 3 half-suns. 1 with honor at any hunting ground. See Section 5 below. There are 2 classes of member, Hawk being senior, Thrush being junior. The rank of Thrush can only be gained through the sponsorship of a Hawk. Each Hawk may sponsor only 1 Thrush. There can be only 7 Hawks. A Thrush can only become a Hawk through the death of his sponsor. The Hawk who hunts the greatest prey shall become Sunhawk and lead the lodge. In the event the quality of prey is in dispute, the Hawk who hunted first shall remain first as Sunhawk. Only Carja males of pure blood may become Thrush, Hawk, or Sunhawk. By order of His Radiance Avad, 14th Sun King of the Carja, Bylaw 7 of Section 2 is hereby rescinded. Okay, so they keep getting rid of these laws. Barriers of entry. Proof of the hunt. Section 3. Section 3.1. The greatest hunts often bear no witness, therefore a trophy must be kept. A trophy must be submitted to the may be submitted to the Sunhawk as proof of a victorious hunt. A trophy must be intact, undamaged, and from a recent hunt. The Sunhawk shall have final authority in any dispute over its trophy's worth. Only Karja males of pure blood may submit a trophy to the Sunhawk. By orders of Radiance Avad, 14th Sun King of Karja, Bylaw 5 of Section 3 is rescinded. To protect and preserve, Section 4. A hunt for its own sake is noble. A hunt in the service of others is blessed by the sun. When called upon, hawks and thrushes must undertake any reasonable hunt asked of them, if it serves to protect the citizens of the Sundom. The Sunhawk has sole authority to negotiate any fees or bounties associated with any hunt undertaken by members of the Lodge on behalf of the Sundom. Any profit from any hunt undertaken by members of the Lodge on behalf of the Sundom shall be shared by all 7 hawks, administered by the Sunhawk. Only Karja males of pure blood, there you go again, which is rescinded. Hunting grounds. For the purpose of training and recruiting the best and greatest hunters, the Lodge shall provide and maintain hunting grounds. Each hunting ground shall test a different range of skills through 3 trials crafted by its keeper in consultation with the Sunhawk. There shall be 3 rewards for each trial in ascending order performance: half sun, full sun, blazing sun. Hunters who prove themselves by winning the requisite number of suns may be entitled to special gear at the Lodge at the discretion of the Sunhawk. The Lodge shall provide funds for the construction and maintenance of all trials and facilities at hunting grounds. The Lodge shall receive all profits associated with the sale of parts, ammunition, and equipment from all hunting grounds. Any profits received from hunting grounds shall be shared by all 7 hawks, administered by the Sunhawk. Keepers shall be chosen exclusively by the Sunhawk and serve for a term of 7 years. Only Karja males, once again, there's the rescinded law. Okay. Tells us a little bit about the hunting culture here.
King Avad's edict really is taking effect. Never thought I'd see a Nora here, and a woman at that. So, you have marks for me?
What do you mean?
From the hunting grounds. Oh, right. You're new here.
What edict?
King Avad insisted that the Hunter's Lodge had to welcome everyone. Man, woman, outlander, regardless of tribe. Ursa, captain of the Vanguard, came in and delivered that news personally. You should have been there. I figured they would sweep it under the rug and say no woman or outlander qualified. Yet here you are.
Are you a member?
Me? No. Karja don't exactly encourage their daughters to run around hunting machines. But all the changes in Meridian have been good to me. I don't think the Oseram know how to sell to us Karja. The trader I worked for last couldn't sell flowers to a bee. He was too plain hammered, as they like to say. This is a much better job. I figure I'll be able to open my own shop soon enough.
What do you want with my marks?
You hunters and your badges. I'm not going to take them. I'm going to give you a weapon that sets you apart. Yeah, I thought that'd get your attention. If you earn marks in all 3 trials at each of the 5 hunting grounds, come to me. I can give you up to 3 weapons, 1 for 15 half-suns, 1 for 15 full suns, and 1 you'll love for all blazing suns.
What do I do with these marks?
If you get the same mark from all the hunting ground trials, I can give you a Hunter's Lodge weapon. Show me what marks you've earned, and we'll see if you qualify for one of these special weapons I have for you.
I'm a little short on marks.
No problem. Once you have marks from all 15 trials, you'll be able to get the next Hunter's Lodge weapon from me.
So there are Oseram in this country now.
I tell you, never have children.
Or one of the wrong flight of stairs.
Beautiful sunrise today.
Record of Redmaw 1, a scroll of parchment. The record of Redmaw by inquiring Jandiniman historian in residence at the Hunter's Lodge. It is well known that facts recede into fictions as they become memories, and fresh facts themselves are ephemeral among the rumors and legends of the South. This is especially true in the case of Red Maw, that most terrible of Thunderjaws, a machine which is nothing if not legendary. Few who have laid eyes upon it have survived, and among them even fewer can be trusted not to embellish their tales. All that said, here I have endeavored to truthfully chronicle all the calamities attributes to the beast, and all the expeditions meant to end such calamities once and for all. None have succeeded. As of this writing, the terror of the South still roams free, scarred perhaps, but deadly as the day the sun first shone upon its armored hide. In the early spring of the 18th year of the reign of the Sun King Jiren, a freehold was destroyed near the hands of the flood. 9 bodies were recovered, 8 riddled with cannon rounds, 1 flattened completely. No witnesses survived, though never proven. This is widely thought to be Red Maw's first attack. In the late spring of the 18th year of the reign of the Sun King Jiren, an expedition of 4 hunters set out from the Sunstone Rock to track the machine or machines responsible for the destruction of the freehold. None had returned. Their bodies were subsequently found in the south, 3 blasted, 1 stomped, never proven but thought to be Red Maw's work. In the early summer of the 18th year of the reign of the Sun King Jiram, an expedition of 6 mercenaries set out from Meridian to track the machine or machines responsible for the losses described above. 1 returned, ribs crushed, clavicle fractured. He spoke of a thunderjaw which split a man in half with a single bite. This is the first confirmed sighting of the legendary machine and the one which gave it a name. In the late summer of the 18th year of the reign of the Sun King Jiren, an expedition of 8 set out from Meridian to track Red Maw. None returned. 6 bodies were found near Blackwing Snag. 1 blasted, 3 stomped, 2 eviscerated. 1 swallowed his own tongue, evidently in a spasm of terror, suffocating. In the autumn of the 18th year of his reign, the Sun King Jiren commanded the Hunter's Lodge to send an expedition south in pursuit of Red Maw. After numerous logistical delays, 3 hawks and their thrushes set out in winter. Only 1 pair returned, reporting the deaths of the others. 2 blasted, 1 stomped, 1 decapitated. The survivors were sacrificed for cowardice, 1 gutted by a sawtooth, the others skewered by kestrels. After this setback, members of the lodge grew wary of pursuing the legendary Thunderjaw. Only the proudest hawks even considered it. Aspirants to the lodge, however foolish in their ambition, eagerly took part in subsequent hunts. In the summer of the 19th year of the reign of the Sun King Jiren, the destruction of a caravan south of the Spurflins, 3 blasted, 2 stomped, 1 immolated, reignited interest in Red Maw. 3 expeditions totaling 15 mercenaries went after the machine with only 3 survivors. 9 blasted, 3 stomped, 2 eviscerated, 1 liquefied. Jesus. In the early spring of the 20th year of the reign of the Sun King Jiren, a cohort of 12 soldiers headed from the Rain Gathers to the Alite were set upon by the beast. Only 1 survived, 1 blasted, 1 stomped, 10 crushed, when their fleeing footsteps triggered an avalanche. In the late spring of the 20th year of the reign of the Sun King Jiren, 3 cohorts totaling 34 men went in search of Red Maw. Alas, they were ambushed by stalkers and only 4 survived. 24 sniped, 6 exploded. Understandably, this ended the pursuit of Red Maw for some time. In the summer of the 1st year of the reign of the Sun King Avad, a group of 6 Osram traders were attacked by the beast. 1 blasted, 3 stomped, 1 spit into a ravine. The lone survivor petitioned Captain Ursa to send the vanguard after the monster, but the request was denied. However, 3 additional expeditions comprised of mercenaries and hunters aspiring to the lodge were subsequently commissioned. Autumn, 7 men, 2 blasted, 3 stomped, 1 tripped on his own spear, 1 survivor. Winter, 9 men, 3 blasted, 2 stomped, 2 died from frostbite, 2 survivors. Spring, 11 men, 5 blasted, 1 stomped, 3 retreated off a cliff, 2 survivors. The last known sighting of Red Maw occurred in the spring of the 3rd year of the reign of the Sun King Avad. Tarkus, Hawk of the Lodge, got word of its sighting near Thunderhead and set off to take the beast on his own. His thrush, Talana, arrived at the scene too late. Just as Tarkus was dying of his wounds, multiple perforations, Talana testified that as Red Maw lumbered off through the tree, she could see the spear of her mentor embedded in his hide. Well, damn. And I take it we're going to be... Yeah, go kill this Thunderjaw that is, like, destroying everybody in town. Did I loot this? Maybe I did.
The old man man caught me sipping a brew at work. He yelled so loud I'm still deaf in one ear.
Excuse us. The machine rider graces us with her presence. You're a Nora, are you not? A fighter from the Savage Lands.
The Sacred Land, but yes. I fought for everything I got.
Tell me, do the Nora often wander into other people's homes and do whatever they like?
Of course not.
But that is what you're doing, right now. Stinking up our lodge, pestering your betters.
You're hardly my better. Legan said I had to meet you to become a member.
That would be true if there were any chance of you becoming a member. But you're a savage. And no savage will rise in the ranks of the Hunter's Lodge while I am the Sun Hawk. Now be gone.
No. I was led to believe there are rules here. If they count for nothing, then even your position is meaningless. So quit blustering and tell me. Is there a Hawk who is free to sponsor me?
Very well. Talana is free. Wouldn't that be fitting? Trash sponsoring trash.
Jeez.
Now get out of my sight.
Well.
I could steal a moment like this every day.
Old biases die hard, right? Legendary hunts. Legendary hunts of the lodge. In the summer, well, here we go again. In the summer of the 4th year of the reign of the Sun King Marzid, did Farakawa's Sunhawk of the Lodge behold a herd of grazers, so vast that it filled entire the vale below the far back. His bow was a harp that day, strumming the melody of the hunt from noon to twilight. After one could not walk a single step across the glen without tripping on an antler of the fallen. It took all 7 hawks and all 7 thrushes to gather the trophies, and with the bounty from their barter, the last wing of the lodge was raised. In the winter of the 7th year of the reign of the Sun King Hyvis, did Darasiv, Hawk of the Lodge, stalk a herd of tramplers from Sand Whisper Valley to the foothills of the Pale Reach. Bombs from his sling fell as hailstones, freezing his prey in the waters of the fjord. While the others stood as statues in ice, Hyvis sat upon the largest, driving his spear between his plates and taking his trophy before the rest could even stir. In the spring of the 3rd year of the reign of the Sun King Jiren, as the machines of the wilds grew ever more deranged, did Kuvam, Hawk of the Lodge, answer the call from the prefect at Day Tower to slay the mysterious creature who ripped his best cohort limb from limb, his quarry through the savage east before the brute was revealed. Strong as a snapjaw, fast as a strider, from twilight to midnight the battle raged. But Kuvam prevailed at great cost, his left arm chewed ragged at the joint. Thus he named the beast Sawtooth as he took his trophy from its shattered remains. In the autumn of the 8th year of the reign of the Sun King Jiren, as the machines of the wilds grew ever more deranged, did Galadid, Hawk of the Lodge, follow the shimmering death haunting the southern freeholds into the jungles of the Jewel. Under that tangled canopy the hunter became the hunted, glimpsing in the shadows more of the eerie lights, till he was surrounded by machines that he named stalkers. Long was his flight through the undergrowth to the safety of the Allight, but along the way he turned his bow to his pursuers and became the first to snare a trophy from that which walks in glinting shadow. In the summer of the 13th year of the reign of the Sun King Jiran, as the machines of the wilds grew ever more deranged, did Asis, Hawk of the Lodge, dare to tread the path of broken trees, following the wake of the terrible thing that laid waste to the freehold of Morning Light. And so he was first to face the might of the Thunderjaw, greatest of machines that walk the earth. With spear, bomb, and arrow, brave Asis fought to no avail, and only triumphed by turning the Terror's own cannons against it. The carcass of the beast now hangs in the lodge for all to see, so enshrined because its fall turned Hawk to Sunhawk.
The dances and the music. A shame most visitors to Meridian never get... Well, don't you seem fresh-faced and ready for anything. Truth will come out about what happened to the Nora. No shadows in the noonday sun.
get a wink of sleep. I'm dead from a Carja. Just like them, it's too damn soft.
There's Talana.
You're Talana? Assis said you were a hawk without a fledgling to sponsor. Or are you trying to drive me off too? It's okay, I've dealt with worse.
I'll bet you have. But you're wrong. It's not okay. Especially not today.
What happened today?
One of our own just died fighting Red Maw. You'll never face a more dangerous Thunderjaw. Cuts through trees, rocks, people.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's part of the hunt.
Assis, what's his story?
He's the Sunhawk of the Lodge. The highest ranking asshole... Sorry, member. He's taken down Ravagers, Stalkers, Behemoths.
So, I've taken down a lot of machines.
As have I. Even brought down 2 Stormbirds. But he's a hawk who brought in the trophies first. And that's how it works. Whichever hawk defeats the greatest machine first becomes a Sunhawk.
Is there any actual hunting in this lodge? So far, it's been all talk.
Yes, of course. You fight a machine, then bring its trophy to Assis the Sunhawk, then no one can deny you brought it down.
How does one become a hawk?
When a hawk dies, his thrush is promoted in his place, no matter how anyone feels about it.
Who is this Legan, the man at the door?
Legan? He's a hawk. He had an impressive run in his day, but he doesn't fight anymore. He supports the lodge in other ways. Unlike the other hawks, who hoard all the best kills and drink the bar dry.
I'm ready to hunt, so tell me, what do I have to do?
You want them to regret looking down on you? Then speak to them in their language. Kill 3 Sawtooths, 2 Ravagers, and a Stalker. Deliver their trophies directly to Assis. That should shut them all up.
So if I do that, you'll sponsor me?
I'll consider it. Just to make Assis spoiled.
Okay, so we got some new hunting missions, guys.
Able-bodied adventurers, preferably with no friends or family, but I'm not choosy.
Oh, there it is.
Can I interest you in a reasonable share of a lucrative opportunity?
Hey man, I've already got your task, brother. I don't need to talk to you now.
Nora looks like it. Would have killed him to fill out a decent set of armor. Sun King of Hell pardon me that voice Robin's brutality. I'll give him that.
Prices keep going up in Raiden.
Wish I could capture this.
If the thief came this way, there's only one way he could have gone. Forward.
We fought those rebels in Sunfall to a standstill. Why don't the Sun King finish them for... I don't care for Oseram, but Captain
There's
Ursa
the
fought
thief.
for us. That's
Someone
why
must
the
have seen
damn
him go
Shadow
by.
Carja murdered her. They say...
Did you see anyone run through here? He would have been holding a sword.
Yeah. Almost crashed into me, too. He ran down the parapet here and went down the lift. No way you'll catch him now. I didn't see a sword, though.
He wasn't carrying anything.
Not a damn thing. Just ran like his ass was on fire.
The thief must have ditched the sword.
Is it any wonder the
But where? Maybe he had help. That merchant stall would have been a convenient drop-off.
A mansion that will block my view.
Take a look at these wares.
It looks like the thief got away, but without the sword. I thought maybe he dropped it off somewhere. Like here, for instance?
What? No. I had nothing to do with this.
I guess we'll see when I get the city guard to toss your stall and question your customers.
Hold on. There's more to this. You've got a reputation for shining light in the darkness, so I know you'll listen. You're right. The sword was passed to me, and I passed it on to someone else. It's going to be sold, but not for profit. The shards will go to people in need.
You expect me to believe that?
I can prove it. Meet my friends at the watermill in the lower village. They'll explain everything. If they don't convince you, come right back with the guards. I'm not going anywhere.
It wouldn't matter if you did. I'd find you. But all right. I'll check out the watermill. Okay. Guess I should go to this watermill then to find out what's going on.
She said her lover was killed by machines. I'm sure it's a lie, but there's so many times.
Move along. You have no need to loiter around here.
Get up, I work.
Let's go ahead and start looking at the weaponry. Do I wait a second? Do I have the ability to pull items out? Tinker. I do. I guess we'll throw a damage coil in this one. That's actually pretty good for this bow. Shock, tear, and freeze. I don't really... This can only freeze, so let's just put something with freeze on it in there. So this has shock and damage, blast damage. Let's go with resist shock and resist melee. There we go.
The Oseram family next door keeps me up all night with their bickering.
Alright, I think we need to take this lift to get to where we really need to go. What the heck? Is this not a lift? Maybe it's not.
Yes, you're very friendly.
Ursa's gone. Even dead.
Okay. The kites in the air.
How many do they need?
You wouldn't be so eager to speak.
Would you like to buy something today?
Good day.
Only the finest goods here. See for yourself.
Fine goods for a fair price.
Ah, you're everything I'm not. Strong, brave, active. Come, talk a spell.
Take a look at these wares.
I hear King Avad is afraid he might hurt.
These aren't...
I hear King Avad is afraid
The liberation of Meridian. An official account ascribed by the reckoners of the Sun Priests and marked with the emblems of truth by exacting Varan, who witnessed these events. In the 21st year of the 13th Sun King Jiran's reign, the twilight time of his madness, the Sun King's own favorite heir, was put to death. The radiant Kadaman's crime was to demand an end to his father's acts of bloodshed, and his sacrifice set that into motion. Jiran's second heir, the radiant Avad, fled Meridian at dusk with his honor guard, soldiers loyal to him over the Sun King. All night they traveled northwards, knowing that come the dawn they would be branded as traitors and marked for death. So it was that when Jiran made that proclamation, they had already traveled far. And in time they did reach the edge of the Sundom and crossed into Oseram territory, for Avad was canny and planned to negotiate terms with the Oseram. He knew he had an ally among them, Ursa, a fierce Oseram warrior with whom Avad had a long and unusual history. 2 years earlier, Ursa had been brought to Meridian as a captive destined for sacrifice, but she survived the Sun Ring, killing 2 Kestrels by her own hand. Thus did she earn the honor of being made a palace slave, and in this role came to know Prince Avad. A rare friendship was formed, and Avad conspired to free his friend, who returned at once to the Oseram homeland. Now desperate for allies, Avad sought out the Oseramian help to free. Ursa had ties to the warlords and the freebooters who resisted the Red Raids. With Ursa's might and Avad's keen strategy, they could raise a warband and move to overthrow Jiran. And as a rightful heir to the throne of the Sun, Avad hoped to inspire many of his people to rebel, so sparing Meridian from a drawn-out war. After months of preparation, Avad and his allies crossed the border and marched on Meridian. As word of their advance spread, many Carja soldiers fled back to the city, laid down their arms, or even joined the liberators. Yet wise Avad knew that Jiran's faithful would defend Meridian to the last man, even sacrificing the lives of its citizens, if it would hold the holy city against siege. He found Kestrels and city guards already set in on the walls, ready to face arrow and shot, but Avad's Oseram allies had brought new weapons never seen beneath the sun. Thundering cannons, strong as machines, Avad permitted them to fire their salvos on the outer walls, bringing many defenders down with great carnage. The smoke cleared, the liberators attacked in 3 groups. One scaled the walls beneath the Temple of the Sun, another took to the aqueducts of the palace, while the main force overcame the barricaded city gates with cannon fire. These were the final blast fired at the holy city, as Avad forbade any further destruction. In the streets, too many scenes of brutality and chaos played out to recount. Among the terrible miasma of blood and smoke, the Sun Ring slave pits were open and hundreds spilled out. Desperate to escape, many of Jiran's supporters seized their chance to flee with this flood of unfortunates. The day had turned, and seeing his forces much reduced, the Sun King Jiran ordered his trusted Kestrels take Itamin, his sole remaining heir, from the city. Helis, terror of the sun, cleaved a path through Meridian from east to west, striking down all in his way, ally and foe alike. The savagery of Helis and his Kestrels could not be matched, and so it was that Itamin, his mother, the Dowager Queen Nasadi, and the High Sun Priest Bahabas escaped. Avad confronted Jiran in the solarium. He had hoped his father would answer for his crimes honorably, but seeing this could not be so, with great anguish he struck him down. As the murderer of a true Sun King is an unthinkable act and surely would plunge the world into shadow, Jiran's death proved that the Sun had renounced his legitimacy. Yes, Sun had turned to shadow on the throne of Meridian, and it was Avad's light that drove the shadow out to the west, where it remains to this day. So it was the cycle of things corrected in the first year of the reign of the 14th Sun King, the radiant Avad. The reign of the Mad Sun King. Be warned, reader, that as a true account of the Mad Sun King Jiren's acts, these glyphs are blotted in blood. Truly the savageries committed can barely be recounted, so pray to the cleansing sun for yourself and the teller of these tales. You will learn of the grievous wounds inflicted on foreign lands in the reaping of sacrifice, the Red Raids, for the Mad Sun King would order a whole generation cut from each village, so they might more willingly supply sacrifices and be harder pressed to field fighting men on the next raid. The Utaru, who sought to appease with gifts of grain, were slaughtered in such number that upon the following harvest the maize grew black and blue with the blood of the dead. Against the Oseram, the terror of the sun piled the corpses of their fallen up to the walls of their villages, so his kestrels might clamber upon the dead to enter. And in the valley of the barbarian Nora, terrors of the savage east, such savagery ensued that the trees were drooped with corpses hung as grim warnings. Should you wish to read of the Mad King's depredations against his own people, your curiosity will not go unsated. Within are accounts of the deaths of those sentenced to the Sun Ring, listed in such detail, you might think, and reported by their own chattering skulls once piled outside the city gates. Nor will you find a more harrowing account of his massacre of the Hunter's Lodge. Reading these accounts, you might imagine yourself among its brave hawks as they fought to the last, blooding the sands from dawn till dusk, or perhaps in the crowds as the loosed behemoths careened through the stands with the crashing of wood and bone. All this crazed bloodletting did the Mad Sun King take in with his pitiless gaze. Indeed, he would not even look away from the goring of his own son in that ring of death. Yes, fair-haired Catamon. Catamon of the dawn's rising, so degraded and doomed for the crime of standing against his father. Such a true and complete account of the Mad Sun King Jiren's miseries cannot be found in the history annals or heard from the reckoners of the Sun Priest. It is with a heavy heart that I scribe these events, leaving out no shocking detail, but my debt is to history and to you, the brave reader.
Warlords come and go, but Meridian stands eternal.
Jump past that thing I can see. Not much for putting on airs.
Everyone needs a splash of color in their lives. Come, let's talk it over.
These aren't goods, they're necessities.
Ah, you're back. Till we meet again. I have a matter of grace and beauty I would like to discuss with you.
Only the finest goods here. See for yourself.
Well, I think I finally explored most of Meridian. I'm starting to circle back. Now, this is the higher upper quarter. I need to find a way to get to the lower quarter, right?
No one goes into the palace without an invitation.
Oh, okay. Here we are. This is the way out.
It's not what I imagined when I was a boy, but it's decent work.
Wow, I mean, we're already an hour 15 in, and I'm just now getting outside of Meridian with things to do. Crazy. I'm kind of getting a little sleepy, actually. I don't know how well I'm going to be able to fight it either. What is this? Honor the fallen. Go to the Shrine of Kings. Yeah, let's go check out this village. Oh, another campfire, right?
This isn't up to their...
What does this sign say? Bright Market. Interesting. Oh, and there's a place to rappel down, too. Place to rappel down right there.
Nutritious.
Alright, what are their weaknesses? Canisters are weakness to fire.
to meet.
Well, I notice I'm not taking the hits I'm taking aren't that drastic anymore.
Ready or not.
Alright, now how do I get up here to get this vantage point? I guess? Like, maybe this is tricky, huh?
Hot as a forest fire.
Maybe I'm on the wrong side? Yeah, I am. Holy cow.
Apaka Shitstorm Tour, Day 9. I was setting up my tent right here when Wyatt's call came through. I came as fast as I could, but you'd already slipped into a coma. We never got a chance to say goodbye. Hi, Mom. My plan was to go camping here after the Amos 15 launch. I'd been working OT for the past 9 months, so I was pretty frazzled and figured I should take a weekend and relax before Crunch started up again. I was setting up my tent when Wyatt's call came through. He said he was an emergency. I called a lift spin vert and made it to Denver General in less than 27 minutes. I was too late. You'd already slipped into a coma. I didn't understand how that could be, but when I told Wyatt to explain, he just kept choking up, waving me towards the care station. So it was a holodoc that broke the news. Hal, you'd been diagnosed a year earlier, the adverse reaction to gene therapy and polymer vascular replacements, the 6 months of mobile dialysis. I couldn't believe you'd kept it all secret from me. Even at the height of the crunch, I called you once or twice a week. So you just sat there listening to me enthuse about my latest project or complain about workplace politics. And all the while you were dying. It didn't make any sense. I marched back to Wyatt, cornered him, and demanded that he explain. He said you hadn't wanted to distract me, that I was doing important work and needed to focus. You know, as though the latest Amos launch in the Palladium and Rhodium it bring back to Earth mattered more than the Ma who was already here. Wyatt kept saying how proud of you were of me. He even parroted that onwards and upwards phrase of yours. He said I should get back to work, and that's what you would have wanted. That he'd stay at the hospital and keep me informed. I didn't go back to work. I called in. It took arguing my way past 2 supervisors, a labyrinthine automated HR menu, a human resources AI, and an anal defensive benefits executive to activate my personal leave. But I did it. And then I sat at your bedside for the next 7 days. I kept thinking of the hospital after my OD at the amphitheater. Kept thinking that if you came out of the coma, I wanted my face to be the first thing you saw. On the 8th day, they pronounced you were dead. After the funeral, I went back to work, but I wasn't really there. I kept telling myself to focus, that it was okay to be there. It was what you would have wanted, after all, onwards and upwards. But my work fell behind. When my supervisor called me in for an emergency review, I told myself to play it cool, accept the criticism, and promise to do better. It didn't go like that. I snapped and shouted at him, and then I broke down, sobbing uncontrollably. 2 minutes and 3 drones later, and I was standing outside the Faro building, blinking in the sunshine, straightening my bunched-up clothes. An alert of my focus indicated that I should go home for the day, then report for a disciplinary review on Monday. But I didn't go home. Another idea had risen up in my mind, already fully formed. I guess I'd already been thinking of doing it for a while. I took a lift spin to Pioneer Park. 10 minutes of asking around and a truth test to show I wasn't a cop was all it took to make a connection. I went home with the drug, started using, and didn't stop. Duster, snake, skydive, overcast, no razor wing at least. I didn't take calls, didn't show up for the disciplinary review on Monday morning. A friend stopped by and hammered the door until I answered it. When he saw what was happening, he staged a one-man intervention. I agreed to go into treatment, but I didn't harbor any illusions. Use of personal leave was bad, but use of psych, SA leave, career suicide. Sure, they couldn't legally fire me for it, but I'd been around FAS long enough to know they'd find a way. My career was over.
I thought I was at rock bottom, but I was wrong, of course. I still had a long way to fall. Alright, let's... I think guys, I think I'm going to take a break, man. I don't think I'm going to be able to marathon this as much as I wanted to. I'm getting kind of sleepy. So...
I'll tuck that away.
Let's head to this village up here and get the save point. And when you know it, there's a quest to get there too. There's a merchant here? Day Tower. Well, I'll be. I can't believe I missed that merchant. Cut cliffs.
Don't bother me, Outlander. I don't need a mercenary, I need a miracle. Someone who can tell me who slaughtered my men.
I'm a good tracker. Maybe I can help. What happened?
Mass murder. That's what. 5 night guards shredded like cabbage out there in the quarry.
5 men murdered? How?
Don't know. One was a buddy from before the liberation. We worked this quarry together as slaves for the Mad King. My friend, may he walk forever in the light, knew how to fight. Fiends who did this must have had stealth or numbers.
Could machines have killed them?
Don't see how. The quarry is fenced and gated, and I've never seen a Glinthawk do anything like this.
Anything strike you as strange or out of the ordinary?
Well, let's see, oh yeah, chunks of corpses, gushing blood. Sorry. Pressure's getting to me. Not used to murder. Nah, nothing unusual. Well, except we've been doing a little blasting lately, and Saravad said, no, that's just stupid.
You've been using explosives?
Sure. To clear away bedrock and get to the good stuff, we do it for a week or so every year. But that's got nothing to do with the dead. They were torn apart, not blown up.
What exactly did Saravad say?
Ah, nothing. Kept babbling about a pile of rocks out there. Said he didn't remember it from yesterday. I told him that this here is a quarry, where we move rocks all day. So rocks getting moved ain't so surprising, lunkhead.
I'll have a look around the quarry.
If you think it'll help.
I prefer the one about the Sun Priest falling in love with a merchant's daughter.
Blood on stone, man. Oh man, that is high level. Well, I say it's high level, but geez, I'm like level 20 something. Holy crap. Robbing the rich. Honor the fallen. Oh man, I feel like I didn't really get to accomplish too much in the stream. A lot of it was interaction with new dialogue and reading things, reading prompts. I kind of want to do a couple things before we head out. I might want to investigate one of these shrines on my way to this town area, right? So we'll go ahead and mark that.
Cousin Jiran. But Avad is trying to wash it clean.
Must be the Shrine of Kings that Lamont told me about.
Every time I go near the statue, he shouts at me.
Oseram slaves built that thing. We deserve to have a look.
It may have been meant for the man. Now, it's a public monument, not his private shrine.
You won't get in there. That dried-up old prune in a robe sees to that.
I can be persuasive. But what does an Oseram want with a Carja shrine anyway?
It reminds me of someone. Gone 2 years now. But what does a girl like you know of loss?
Try me.
I had a lover. Worked on monuments to their bastard king. Then he gave them a show in their sun ring for good measure. The Carja gave me back his broken bones, but what use are they? They won't build again. They won't make me smile.
And seeing a statue of the Mad Sun King will?
I need to see his work again. The marks his hands carved. The set of the metals they hammered. That's the soul of him. But that shriveled up old priest won't let me near it.
I'll see what I can do.
Between the two of us, we could pitch him and his guards over the waterfall.
Somehow I don't think that's what Naman had in mind.
Huh.
Turn away, child. The abiding Jahaman wishes to be alone in his retreat.
If you want to be alone, go someplace else. Others want to pray here.
Defile it, you mean? Yet another debasement of what was once pure. Truly, our tribe has lost the light. Our king is false, our temple is corrupt, and our soldiers weak. The sun hastens across the sky for shame.
So the Carja have become impure? What does that even mean?
Is Meridian not meant for those who built it, who made it great? It was pure before Outlander squatters took it over.
You mean Meridian was pure when the outsiders were in cages or dying in your arena?
The sun is pure, child. It is not our place to question its divine will, only to act upon it.
I thought Avad taking the throne was the sun's will.
The boy dishonored his father. To kill the Sun King. What shadow, what twilight time he brought upon us.
And how many more would the Mad Sun King have killed if Avad hadn't stopped him?
The sun called for blood. There was no choice but to obey.
You called the temple corrupt, but aren't you one of its priests?
They call themselves sun priests, but they have no authority. Youths and sycophants all. Yet those who gave their whole lives to the sun's service are shamed and ignored.
So that's what this is. A tantrum? A cry for attention?
You know nothing of our rights, and yet you dare to insult me.
Why do you think your army is weak? Because you're not at war with everyone?
A Carja throne relying on forged dirt mercenaries? Preposterous! The so-called liberation was nothing but a purge. Our most blessed warriors, chased out of the city, exiled to Sunfall and the Forbidden West. Our tribe is torn. The ones who walked in light now go by shadow.
And yet everyone but you seems happy they're gone. I'm done arguing with you. Stay or go, but I won't allow you to keep others away.
I am here by the will of the sun.
If you won't accept change, you should try to make peace with it. Your bitterness has poisoned you.
I have no need of your pity.
I wasn't offering it. But if you step aside, you can keep your pride, since it's so important to you.
There'll be a reckoning.
You'll back away from it.
If we teach the Carja nothing else, steel to my soul will teach them how to hold their liquor. See you.
He gave them the best work he'd ever do. And look at it now.
They defaced it because they hated what it stood for.
They defaced a thing slaves like him lived and died for. Slaves they've already forgotten. Short-sighted bastards, the lot. If they thought their son set off this bridge, they'd jump after it. I thank you for honoring my wish.
I hope you can find peace.
I wouldn't know what to do with it, any more than the Carja do.
This last letter I got from McLean must have been smashed.
Like a religious fanatic type culture.
No, I'm awake. And alert.
Not right now, especially. Okay, I guess we're gonna head out. We're approaching the 2-hour mark, but I'm getting tired. So we're gonna call this. This is gonna be the end of episode 24. Tomorrow I have off, but I'll be getting up a lot earlier, so that means I'll be streaming earlier, and I'm gonna shoot for about 10:30 to start streaming tomorrow, and we'll catch up on episode 25. What we'll do is I'm afraid that every time we break a piece off of a quest, we get deeper and deeper, man. But I really want to go back and do those hunts. Try to place at least like a bronze, you know, and whatnot. I tell you, we'll go to the watermill and we'll see what happens. We'll get to a good stopping point on this quest, and then we'll go back and we'll perform the hunts, because we've got plenty of resources now. We got new gear, new armor, and new weapons, and I think we're golden. Let's see here real quick. Maybe potions. Yeah, we're not good on potions. See, that's going to require more hunting. Fatty meat is the one that we really need. So that's going to take some time. But anyways, that's what we're going to do when we come back. We're going to get to a good stopping point in this quest, and then we're going to go try to accomplish those hunts. And in the interim, we'll be hunting up as much fatty meat as we can find. And that'll be in the next episode, guys. Hope you guys are having a great weekend. Peace out. Enjoy life.